An important topic that I want to hit upon, and this is going to be specifically for pitchers out there that tend to just struggle mentally with understanding pitch mechanics and understanding how to get the most out of their body. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is do not compare your mechanics to somebody else. I have too many people reaching out to me on social media. Hey, I'm a left-handed pitcher. How do I also throw like a Aroldis Chapman? Hey, I'm a right-handed pitcher. How do I start throwing like Jacob deGrom? Well, my simple answer is you're not Aroldis Chapman and you're not deGrom. And so what I mean by that, yeah, it sounds cookie cutter, but think about it. Like the way your body is built, all right, is a complete unique expression of how you move. And that is why, like, if everybody could just copy a major league pitcher's mechanics, I think we would all probably be finding a lot of success in this sport, and you would see more people throwing 95, 100 miles an hour, but you don't. And so what I mean by this is that there is a biomotor unit integrity software component involved that most people just aren't aware of. I think this whole society of pitching is too driven in a mental focus of mechanicalism. And when you live in a world of just mechanics, you kind of lose sight of to how is that hardware initially moving. And that is dictated by your software, your brain, your spinal cord, right? Your material continuum, how your tendons and your ligaments, how your tissue quality is, right? All of that, like how is that all being built to then drive the movement? That's the bio to the mechanics. So that's why like there is two separate ways of how I look at biomechanics. The first one is looking at how all integrated, the whole body, the whole human system, how it's all integrated and how certain parts of the body influences another. But the other piece is the brain and the spinal cord and how that connects to the hardware, right? The mechanics, the way the body then moves. So that's why the way I define pitching mechanics is it's an expression based on how much stress an athlete has adapted over the years. Everybody's way of moving is a unique expression based on their genetics, all right? And so that's why when you're in this cycle of just comparing, like in scripture, comparison is the thief to all joy. It's going to mentally stress you out more than anything else. And that, when you're really stressed, is going to apply what is known as allostatic load to your system. And allostatic load can do you a disservice if you're so always consciously aware and not understanding what the objective fact is for how your body wants to move. And so that's the big reason why when I see athletes always comparing their mechanics, they get worse and worse and worse. So the question is how to challenge yourself to learn your body the best and learn how your body wants to move. And it's going to take some experiment, right? Like I think a lot of people are afraid to throw around the word experiment, but sometimes you're just going to have to experiment with certain things, but also making sure that you got people in your corner that are giving you proper exercise selection and management of workload and things like that, and at least guiding you in a better path and direction to teach you, how to map out your whole year with your development, whether you're a multi-sport or you specialize, in one sport. And so that is why this message to the athletes out there to start learning, all right, how to maximize their potential is first just being honest with themselves as to, how consistent are they in their daily routine? What's their structure look like for their training? Who are they working with? Understanding, the background, with their injury history too, which that plays a huge role, because again, if the way you're moving now is an expression based on how much stress you've adapted over the years, you spraining your ankle at 12 years old and you're trying to throw at 16 years old, it does play a role with how your body wants to move. And so you have to be aware of all of these pieces. That's why, again, a lot of things are subjective, in this industry, and that's why there's a lot of multifactorial reasons as to why certain things happen, right? Where we can't just point the finger and blame just one piece, right? Because if it was like that, then the flip side would be, well, if I were to just pick out one thing in your mechanics, which is going to make you throw 100 and jump 20 miles an hour, more people would be able to do that, but that's not the case. So that's just a quick message for all the athletes out there to start understanding that it's more about your process. It's more about learning how to work more on yourself. All right, like Bob Proctor says all the time, if you want to build a successful business and do good at your business, it starts with building yourself first and trying to be the best version of yourself first possible. How well you stay disciplined, how well you stay consistent with your routines, your training, and also applying self-education. All right, that's a huge thing too. Athletes need to start learning how to apply themselves to more of the educational awareness and to know what it takes if you want to be the best player at your level and be an impact player with your team.